Have you heard of the 9 essential amino acids?
Amino acids are so cool.
I love amino acids.
Amino acids are the building blocks of proteins.
Well, hello. I'm just adding one of the 9 essential amino acids into this media for yeast, and you probably know the human body cannot biosynthesize 9 of those amino acids, and you should be getting those from a nice healthy diet.
The food we eat is so important. When we're not getting amino acids in our diet, it can lead to decreased immune response, weakness, fatigue, even changes in skin or hair.
The 9 essential amino acids are
Isoleucine, leucine, phenylalanine, tryptophan, histidine, valine, lysine, threonine, and methionine.
You're probably thinking,
So I should be eating a diet with all 9 amino acids? Why are they so important? And where can I get them?
for each of these 9 essential amino acids, I'm going to share a big picture of some of the important roles it plays in our bodies and then break down one of those functions at a biochemical level. Isoleucine is one of the amino acids that's sometimes referred to as a BCAA or a branched chain amino acid. You may have heard of BCAAs for athletes or people who work out a lot as a supplement to take that helps with muscle recovery. It's involved in
Immune response, hemoglobin production, energy regulation, and muscle metabolism.
Isoleucine undergoes transamination by branched chain aminotransferase, which makes 2-methylbutyryl-CoA. This coenzyme A then undergoes irreversible decarboxylation, producing Tigl-CoA, which is then converted to 2-methylacetoacetyl-CoA, which is then converted to acetyl coenzyme A. Acetyl-CoA is super important in the citric acid cycle, or you may have heard of it referred to as the Krebs cycle, in which it is oxidized following a series of many chemical steps and releases stored energy in the form of ATP. It also produces carbon dioxide, NADH, and FADH. ATP is so important for the cross-bridge cycling that causes muscle contractions. You can find isoleucine in tuna and other kinds of fish, meat, including poultry, tofu, milk, lentils, squash, and potted peas. Leucine is another branched chain amino acid. It is critical for protein synthesis and muscle repair, which is particularly important after physical exercise. According to a study by Boston University Department of Medicine, leucine enhances phosphorylation of mTOR, or mammalian target of rapamycin. The mTOR signaling pathway regulates protein synthesis and cell proliferation. Leucine also enhances phosphorylation of the protein 70kd26 protein kinase. The activation of P70S6 kinase increases phosphorylation of the ribosomal protein S6, and thereby the translation of specific mRNAs that code for ribosomal proteins. This process is also known as protein synthesis. In other words, muscle growth and recovery. You can find leucine in beans, cottage cheese, sesame seeds, squash, eggs, hemp seeds, lentils, peanuts, and oats. Valine is another one of the branched chain amino acids and undergoes a similar chemical process that isoleucine does. Valine undergoes transamination by an aminotransferase that makes alpha isovalerate. Then, following a similar metabolic pathway as the other branched chain amino acids, it is converted to isobutyryl-CoA, then succinyl-CoA, which can be converted to malate, then to pyruvate, to enter the citric acid cycle, which results in a release of energy and makes carbon dioxide, NADH, FADH2, and ATP, which provides energy for muscle contraction. Valine can be found in meats, fish, soy products, and dairy products, legumes like peas, beans, chickpeas, and lentils, and in nuts like peanuts, walnuts, or almonds, in wheat products like oats or cereal. Phenylalanine is involved in the production of neurotransmitters. Undergoes hydroxylation by an aromatic amino acid hydroxylase and becomes L-tyrosine. L-tyrosine also undergoes hydroxylation by hydroxylase and becomes L-dopa. Aromatic amino acid decarboxylase then removes the carboxyl group from L-dopa, converting it to dopamine, a really important neurotransmitter. Dopamine beta hydroxylase can then hydroxylize dopamine further, which makes norepinephrine, another very important neurotransmitter. Norepinephrine can then be converted by phenylalanine and methyltransferase, which adds 2 protons to the amine group, making epinephrine. Epinephrine, dopamine, and norepinephrine are neurotransmitters. This means that they are signaling molecules that are secreted by a neuron to affect another cell across a synapse. They are essential for the proper functioning of the brain and nervous system. You can find phenylalanine in meat, tofu, tuna, pinto beans, milk, squash, pasta, and sweet potatoes. Tryptophan is a precursor to serotonin, a neurotransmitter that regulates your sleep, appetite, and mood. Tryptophan is converted to 5-HTP or 5-hydroxytryptamine by tryptophan hydroxylase, which is then converted to serotonin by decarboxylase. You can find tryptophan in milk, tuna, poultry like turkey or chicken, oats, cheese, nuts and seeds, bread, bananas and apples, even chocolate. Our bodies use histidine to produce histamine, a neurotransmitter that is vital to immune response, digestion, sexual functions, sleep, and wake cycles. It is also critical for maintaining the myelin sheath, which is the protective barrier that surrounds neurons.
Histidine undergoes decarboxylation by the catalytic enzyme HDC or histidine decarboxylase to become histamine.
You can find histidine in milk and dairy products, eggs, meat, fish, legumes like peas, beans, or tofu, lentils, and peanuts. Even in nuts, lysine plays a major role in protein synthesis, calcium absorption. There's not a ton of research about this, but a study from the Department of Environmental and Molecular Toxicology at North Carolina State University found that lysine targeted and blocked the human glucocorticoid receptor, which is involved in the stress response. So lysine may even contribute to a decrease in stress levels, and it's also involved in the production of ATP for energy. Lysine stimulates protein synthesis by activating the mTOR pathway, which activates the protein P7026K, leading to cell growth, as well as the protein EIF4G, which stimulates mRNA translation and therefore protein synthesis. You can find lysine in meat and poultry, dairy products like milk and cheese, fish, eggs, soy products like tofu and edamame, and legumes like peanuts and beans. Threonine plays a role in making structural proteins like collagen and elastin, which are important components of your skin and connective tissue. It also plays an important role in lipid metabolism and immune function.
Collagen is composed of 3 chains of amino acids
That are wound together to form a triple helix. One of the amino acids that makes up these chains is threonine. Once the triple helix is formed inside the cell, it is secreted from the cell, and multiple triple helixes of collagen are cross-linked together to form collagen fibers that can be found in connective tissue like skin, bones, tendons, and cartilage. You can find threonine in meat, fish, tofu, milk, green peas, eggs, and squash.
Methionine is an antioxidant, and it also plays an important role in protein building and energy and metabolism, as it is a precursor of succinyl-CoA. It also plays a role in the immune system by helping control inflammation. Methionine is capable of being oxidized or donating electrons to radicals. After donating electrons, methionine becomes methionine sulfoxide.
Radicals are atoms that have an unpaired pair of electrons, and they are highly reactive and therefore can damage cells and cause illness. So by neutralizing them, we make them unreactive so they can't cause damage to cells. Methionine can be found in fish and meat, also in soybeans, tofu, lentils, Brazil nuts, and wheat germ that you can find in granolas and cereals. Dietary supplements of amino acids can be helpful, but they can often be expensive, bad tasting, or have negative side effects. Getting your amino acids from the food that you eat is the cheapest, tastiest, and safest way to go.
According to the Food and Drug Administration,
dietitians say that it's not necessary to consume all the essential amino acids at one time,
but instead spread out throughout the course of the day.
Eating all 9 amino acids helps keep you
strong, full of energy, and even helps your brain function better.
Oh, these worms look terrible. Don't be like the worms. Get out there and eat your essential amino acids today.